and the 2 prorogations in 2 years, the first to avoid a vote of non-confidence that would have surely brought this government down. The second, to avoid difficult questions. Anyone who disagrees with this government gets pushed aside. The challenge becomes that he gets to use every tribune he can use. All the media, all the voices, all the attention, and gets to further marginalize people who disagree with him. That's why we're talking about prorogation today.
Yes, and of course, that's a much younger and even more immature Justin Trudeau talking about 2012 about prorogation, which he did yesterday with absolutely no fuss from the Governor General. When we come back, we'll
We need a political change. But we also need to resolve to resist.
Okay, was it just me, or did you all feel that Justin Trudeau didn't really resign yesterday? Because I was writing a story for the Post Millennial while this happened, and I kept thinking, what, did he resign or not? He's still the interim leader of being prime minister, but did he resign as leader of the Liberal Party? The answer is no. And you see all of these YouTubers out there saying, Trudeau resigns. Trudeau resigned. No, he didn't. He said he intends to resign. Huge difference. And that's perhaps why people with YouTube stations should have a little bit of information about history in public affairs before they go on the air. Trudeau did not resign yesterday. He said he intends to resign as soon as the Liberal Party finds a successor. Now you say, well, how long will that take? No indication how long that will take. Let's listen to what the leader of the Bloc Québécois, and I usually have no time for the Bloc Québécois. I think they're treasonous SOBs for sitting in the House of Commons, agitating for the separation of a province from the country. They have no right to be there. But let's hear what Blanchette had to say yesterday.
What if there is something that is put on the table that the Bloc Québécois has been asking for, that a new Liberal leader decides to say, we would like your support in exchange for this?
We are beyond that. Now is time for an election, which I will understand that would be held after the Liberal Party has chosen a new leader. And there's nothing else to be taken into consideration at this point.
Okay. Why does he understand this is going to take place after the Liberal Party has chosen a new leader? Did Justin Trudeau say that yesterday? Let's listen to Justin Trudeau's remarks again.
My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight because I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country. And I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians.
All right, stop there. He's not being motivated what's in the best interest of Canadians. Now, let's make this perfectly clear. If he was doing what's in the best interest of Canadians, he would not be asking the Governor General to prorogue or suspend Parliament. Because what's happening in the next month, 2 months and a half? He's talking about proroguing until spring. He's talking about proroguing for the entire winter season. In fact, Parliament hasn't met since the the autumn update. So literally, this is a season without Parliament. The winter season of 2024, 2025 is a season without Parliament. And Justin Trudeau has the gall, again, to suggest he's doing this in the best interest of the country. No, he's doing this in the best interest of Justin Trudeau and the best interest of the Liberal Party, not the country, which needs Parliament back by January 20th, when Donald Trump takes over the office of president. He was accredited yesterday by Congress. Vice President Kamala Harris said Donald Trump won the election. I have to say, I've never liked Kamala Harris, never had anything to admire her for, but I admired her for saying that yesterday. Standing up and being objective in the face of political reality. Good for her for saying that. But the point is, Donald Trump's coming 13 days from now. Donald Trump wants to slap 25% tariffs on Canada. Justin Trudeau has no response for that. Sorry.
Fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament.
So what's a new session of Parliament going to, how is that going to make any difference? How is that going to make any difference at all? Justin Trudeau never explains that. He told the Governor-General, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to like it. The Governor-General is in Trudeau's pocket. She has no credibility. She's a worthless piece of crap for doing this. She's not a head of state. She pretends to be a head of state. She's only there for DEI reasons. And she gave in to Justin Trudeau's demand that Parliament be prorogued because he says so. Because it's bad. It'd be more advantageous for me and the Liberal Party if we prorogue Parliament right now. This is one of the worst examples of constitutional authority being abridged in history.
She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th. Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
I intend to resign. That's the key words. Now, people who were watching this yesterday did not understand what intend means. It doesn't mean I'm resigning today. It means I'm going to resign in the future when it's convenient to do so. So Justin Trudeau did not resign as Prime Minister yesterday. He did not resign as leader of the Liberal Party yesterday. All he said was he intends to resign in the future when the Liberal Party chooses a successor after a robust leadership race. Now, what is a robust leadership race? Well, I would suggest that's up to 4 months long. Now, so why does the leader of the Bloc Québécois suggest that it's all going to be over by March? Absolutely no reason to assume that. That's Blanchette making assumptions, presumptions about how long this leadership race is going to go. Who do you think is going to win this leadership race? Who do you think really wants it? Okay, we got Mark Carney, we have Chrystia Freeland, we have Melanie Joly, and we have a bunch of people who nobody even has heard of. But do you really think this leadership race is going to be over in what, 6 weeks? When it hasn't even begun yet? No.
Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. As party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles,
When did he not have to fight internal battles? Is this something new? This is Justin Trudeau's latest incarnation. This is him playing a role. Justin Trudeau is very good at theatrics, extremely good at theatrics. This is all he's doing here, is playing a new role. This is the role of damaged prime minister, and I'm going to resign.
I cannot be the best option in that election.
All right. As I think I mentioned yesterday, there's an historical precedent for this. But we have to go all the way back to 1979, which I'm sure a lot of my viewers weren't around for, or at least weren't watching the political scene about. But 1979, Pierre Trudeau, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who most people think was Justin Trudeau's father, declared he was leaving politics. That's all that's going on here. Of course, Pierre Trudeau decided to come back to politics when the situation erupted. What happened? Well, he was very tired very quickly of being opposition leader, the official opposition leader in the House of Commons to Joe Clark's government. And I really have no time for Joe Clark. But it was the first conservative government since 1963. So you're looking at 16 years of Liberal government under Lester Pearson and Pierre Trudeau. And there was a brief 9-month government under Prime Minister Joe Clark, which was really not a very conservative government, but that's beside the point. So he introduced a 16-cent gasoline tax in his November budget, John Crosbie's only budget as finance minister. That budget was defeated, and the House of Commons declared no confidence in Joe Clark's government. All he had to do, this is how stupid Joe Clark was talk to the creditistes, the 6 social credit members in Quebec who were propping up his minority government. But he didn't do that. So the creditistes voted against Joe Clark, toppling the government. Nobody expected that to happen so quickly. So what happened? The Liberal Party was leaderless. They hadn't even begun to have a leadership campaign. Suddenly they realized, hey, the election's been called for February 22nd, 1980. We'd better do something quick. So they started a draft Pierre Trudeau movement. And Pierre Trudeau said, oh, you know how I used to shrug like this? And Pierre Trudeau said, I guess so. I'm coming back. And had he not come back, he would have been remembered as the prime minister who invoked the War Measures Act and who flip-flopped on wage and price controls. Only two things he did during his first 11 years as prime minister that were in any way newsworthy, except for perhaps swearing, using the F word in the House of Commons. Now, if Justin Trudeau is gone in the next couple of months, how will he be remembered? For two things alone: legalizing pot, marijuana, and using the Emergencies Act, the replacement legislation for the War Measures Act, against peaceful protesters in Ottawa, bringing down the full force of the police, literally the full force on their heads. And I was there to see it and narrowly missed having my own head hit by abusive police. That's what Justin Trudeau will be remembered for. So Justin Trudeau is thinking, how can I stay on for a little longer and have a better legacy? Well, I'll pretend to resign. And when the government falls in March, they'll want me back. And that's what Justin Trudeau is planning right now. That is my little prediction for today. And where's Jagmeet Singh in this? Well, let's listen. Because Jagmeet Singh, of course, has been the little hypocrite all the way. Yeah, I'm an opposition leader, but I'm also in Justin Trudeau's pocket. Now, Justin Trudeau knows he needs Jagmeet Singh's continued support. Now, what happens if the House comes back in March? The country will be in chaos, by the way, total chaos, because Donald Trump will have slapped 25% tariffs on Canadian goods and products. No question. He's not impressed with our border security plan. He's not impressed with Justin Trudeau being a lame duck prime minister. He's not impressed with the fact we're not having an election now.
As soon as there is a confidence vote, we will be voting against the government. It is clear that they have let down people. In terms of changing the election laws, we actually proposed that. We proposed those changes to say, let's make it easier for people to vote. Let's change the hours of voting. Let's make it easier for people to vote at a different polling station in their riding. We've already proposed those things. The Liberals had a shot to actually improve those things. They did not do the work necessary. Let us be very clear. This is not just Justin Trudeau. This is every Liberal minister. This is every Liberal MP. All of them are to blame for the situation we're in right now. It is all of their collective faults. So no, they let down Canadians. They do not deserve another chance. The next election is going to be a choice between Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives who want to cut from you to give to the rich buddies, or New Democrats who want to fight for you to lower the cost of your groceries. Take on those greedy CEOs and those billionaires that are ripping you off.
Okay, so yes, the usual BS from this BS artist, this chronic liar who pretends he's somehow on your side with groceries, although he's related to a grocery king himself. And he had a one-man boycott against the grocery chain that's competing with his brother-in-law's chain. This guy is a joke. He's a walking, talking joke. And he's never lived up to any of his claims. But as I said yesterday and preceding that, I've said this for the last couple of days, the arithmetic is in Jagmeet Singh's favor. Now, had the House of Commons come back on January 27th as planned, and had there been an emergency non-confidence vote the following day as planned, Jagmeet Singh still would have preserved his seat in the Vancouver area and his pension, because that's all this is about. This man is so incredibly worthless. He can't even imagine making enough money as a corporate lawyer to support himself. He needs your taxpayer money for the rest of his life to sustain himself. Now, it's pretty pathetic when somebody gets into politics just for the salary and the pension. But that's increasingly obvious that's all Jagmeet Singh ever had in mind. And to bring the government in line with the NDP as a socialist government, and to destroy the NDP party as a viable alternative to the Liberals, because he's made it exactly like the Liberal Party. There's no difference between, and the Liberals and the NDP are going to exterminate each other in the next election. They're going to decimate each other in the next election. There's no question about that. Now, what else did Jagmeet say? Let's. Okay, was he clear about this? Okay, Jagmeet Singh says yes. The first available opportunity, the NDP will vote against the Liberal government. Heard him say it, and he said it again.
It is clear the Liberals have let down Canadians. We fought and fought the Liberals at every step, and we got as much as we could get out of them through our fight. It is clear they've walked away now. It does not matter who is chosen as the next Liberal leader. They have let you down. They do not deserve another chance. So as soon as there is a confidence vote, New Democrats will be voting against the government. And then we will have an election. And in that election, Canadians have an important choice. You got to look at what Pierre Poilievre wants to do, who he's been meeting with, what he's been spending his past 2 years doing. Past 2 years, you saw what I did. I fought for dental care. We fought to make sure people had free diabetes medication and free.
All right, that's enough. BS. So this guy is telling you he's going to vote against the Liberal government at the first available opportunity. Doesn't matter who the replacement is. Okay, so why is Jagmeet Singh and why is the bloc leader Blanchette assuming there's going to be a different leader in the Liberal Party by late March, when the next non-confidence vote will come up? Why are they assuming that? Did Justin Trudeau suggest for a minute that that's going to happen? Did he deliver a timeline for this leadership campaign? No, he just said it has to be coast to coast, has to be robust, has to be national in focus, has to involve everybody. So what? That's going to happen in what, 4 weeks? Even 6 weeks? Sorry. You know how long leadership campaigns take? People have to raise money. They have to get out there and get recognized. They have to book a convention center. And right, they're going to book that right now in March, in January for March? No. This is a fraudulent exercise. I'm telling you right now. And you're not going to hear this from all these YouTubers out there who think this is the best news they've ever heard. I don't know what they're going to do without Justin Trudeau to kick around, by the way. They've nothing else to say. But Justin Trudeau's not finished yet. He's playing another game. It's a new game. He will continue to play this game for as long as he thinks it's necessary to stay in power. And that's what this is all about. I wish I could say it's Christmas again. Justin Trudeau's gone. But not quite. We haven't seen that happen yet. Keep your fingers on the dial, though, because it will happen. But we need elections before October. We need a government that has credibility, not only with Canadians, but with Donald Trump and Americans. We need a government that has legitimacy. Justin Trudeau or whomever might take his place in the next 2.5 months doesn't have legitimacy, either with Canadian voters or with Americans and with the Donald Trump administration. They're laughing at the country right now as the 51st state. Yeah, I agree with some folks who have said, Donald Trump shouldn't be talking about us as the 51st state. He shouldn't be talking about Justin Trudeau as the governor of the 51st state. Maybe not. But it indicates the contempt he has for this Liberal government that has no validity. with Canadians anymore. And that has to be realized. I think we've got another video coming up here. Just a sec. Nope, not there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. It's been a pleasure to be here. Hold on. Anyway, I'm just going to see if we have this. This is Mark Miller. This is a fascinating little piece of history here. I'm just gonna check and see if we have this. Yes, let's read this. Many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. He didn't resign, Donald Trump. He said he intends to. If Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and the Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. So he's still done. This is not 2 months ago. This is Donald Trump last night. He is still continuing to agitate for this because I don't know if Donald Trump is serious or not about the 51st day, whether he thinks this is a likelihood or a possibility. He knows Justin Trudeau has no credibility. He knows that much. And that's what this is all about. So, fascinating piece. We're going to show you that Mark Miller piece tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching today. We'll be back again tomorrow with all the news you need to know. And remember this, we are continuing to resolve to resist. And read my Substack today. I remind you of this earlier. Read this if you want more information. Thanks so much for watching today.